Hello everyone. Like last time we have done with SprinngMVC 4 parts, like how to perform save, update, save, retrieve, and delete. Now we'll see how to update the data in SpringMVC. Okay, right. So what is our first step while updating the data? Let us have a look over this. So here you can see when I click on delete option, this data can be deleted. At the same time, if I click on update button, I should be able to update that particular data. Now if I click on delete, okay, yes, it is deleted, and I will click on home. Okay, so this is small mistake is there. Okay, done. Let me once again. Now I'll try to go to front page. So now I'll click on display. See, Ningaraj is deleted. Okay, now I need to update the data. So in order to update the data, first you have to go for update the data in the sense that we have to enable edit button. Okay, enable in the sense we have to provide edit button in display users .jsp. So in which JSP file you have to provide edit button in the display users JSP. Okay, here you can see display users JSP. This is my display user JSP file. So here we have already delete button related code. So now we need to provide the same as this. So I am just copying this and providing below that edit details. So instead of delete, I will provide edit, and instead of delete, here we will provide edit user. I'll provide edit user, and I am saving this file. I saved this file. Okay, now let us refresh this. So I am just refreshing this, and I will click on display users. Okay, now see, we are able to see here edit button is displayed here. When I click on edit button, we will get 404. Why? Because we did not provide any functionality for that provided URL. Means we did not provide the functionality for this URL. Okay, so to provide the functionality to this URL, our next step. Okay, what is our second step? Our second step is to set up DAO class first. Okay, means first we need to retrieve the particular data which is required to update. Okay, means our second step is to set up DAO class. Okay, then we need to retrieve that particular data which is required to update. And here I will show you picture representation. Okay, so here you can see for delete we have this delete inside the display user JSP, and so in the same time for edit button we just now added edit user. Okay, for providing functionality for this user from where we are starting from the DAO. Okay, look at here. First we have to start from the DAO. So inside the DAO what we have to write? First we have to write get user method. Okay, our first task is to write the get user method. So how to write the get user method, let us see now. Okay, so go to the DAO class first. So your step is to write the get user method inside the DAO class, which method get user is used to retrieve the single data public user model get user int id return entity manager dot find user model dot class. So we successfully completed this get user method. Okay, successfully we have written the get user method. Okay, then we have to, after writing this get user method inside the DAO class, our next step is to write the method inside the controller layer. Why we have to write inside the controller layer? Okay, at first we have provided the edit user URL. Now for this URL we have to provide the functionality. So we will provide the functionality for this edit user URL. Okay, for this edit user URL inside the controller class only. Inside the controller class we will provide the functionality. So for that what we need to do? So first we have to write request mapping. Okay, edit user public model and view edit user. Okay, so here we have to retrieve the particular ID of that particular row data. So here whenever Ningaraj delete button is clicked, so the ID is retrieved here in this form, like a URL rewriting process. We call it as URL rewriting process. URL name question mark ID. ID means variable name. Okay, so here we are using URL rewriting process. Okay, so here what is the variable name? We have written ID. So now whenever the user clicks on edit button, okay, that particular row ID will be retrieved. Okay, in order to retrieve that particular ID, we use request param. And we have to place here. Okay, and here we have to retrieve the existing data inside the database. So we can name it as existing equals user DAO impl. Just now we have written one method get user. Yeah, that is. Okay, next we require model and view object. So I am just copying from the previous code. Okay, done. Next, so here we have to pass that existing object. Copy this and paste here. And here we'll name it as old user. Here we'll name it as edit JSP. So now what we are doing, whenever user clicks on a particular edit button, okay, he will be taken to the edit JSP file with the existing data. So with the existing data, in the sense, what we have to do, we have to create third step, we have to create edit JSP file. Third step is to create edit JSP file. Let us create edit JSP file. Edit Okay, edit JSP file is created. Now as usual we have to take the MVC form tag. So for that I am going to create user JSP. Create user JSP. I am copying this the entire form tag, entire form, and I am pasting here. So here also we require that form. Okay, I am using this create user JSP data. Right. Now here what I have to do, be very clear. See here in the user controller, we have given old user. We have to copy this. And paste within the model attribute old user. Now all the data will be reflected here, and we have to change the URL for the action attribute. So here we have to name it as update user. So till now we have completed up to here. Let us check what happens. Save the file. Okay, the file is saved. Okay, the server will be running. Okay, done. So now let us go and check. Now I'll click on display users. Right. Now I'll click on edit. Suppose I'll click on Pawan edit button. Now you can see Pawan details are being displayed. Okay, so here the minus point is I am able to edit the ID also. Okay, I am able to edit the ID also, but I should not edit the ID of this data. So for that what you have to do, you have to provide read only attribute for this. Read only, and we have to enable it as true. Okay, done. Now let us go back and refresh it from first. So I'll click on refresh. Now I'll click on edit up once again. Now I'll say I'm not able to edit the data. Okay, done. Up to here it is completed. So now if I click on submit, I will end up with 404. Why? What is the reason? I will end up with 404. Now I'll click on I'll provide some details and I'll click on submit. Say I am getting 404, means it is saying update user is not able to found. Okay, means we did not provide the functionality. Okay, we did not provide the functionality. For this URL. For this URL we have to provide the functionality. So what to do? So we have to write one more method in order to update the data. So just copy and paste here. Okay, so here we have to provide update user, and the method name is update user. So here we have to retrieve all the data which is passed by the user. For that, model attribute user model, and here we have to remove this code. Okay, so before so here I am using result. Hello. For now I am writing. So now here I will write message JSP. I am writing message JSP. We will use message JSP only. Okay, done. So here what we have to do, we have to retrieve. Okay, we have retrieved the data using model attribute, and we have to send it to the database. Means what is our next step actually? So our next step is to provide the functionality for the update user URL. Okay, we have to provide the update, you provide the functionality for the update user, but at the same time in the DAO class we have to write update user method. We have to write update user method inside the DAO class. So first, okay, so our next step, fourth step, to write update method. Public string update user, user model, user model. So just we can use this. So instead of remove we use merge. We can write updated. So after writing the update method inside the DAO class, after writing the update method inside the user DAO class, next we have to utilize that inside the update user method inside the controller. Inside the controller class we have to utilize it. So now go to the controller. So here we are going to utilize that string message equals to user DAO impl dot update user. So here we have to use message done. Now everything is clear. Now it will be easily updated. Now let us check. Just I am refreshing this. Okay, still it is running. Yes, it is completed. Right. Now I'll click on Pawan. So here I am writing Pawan Kumar. Okay, and here I will write Pawan Kumar 3. Here I will write 369. Then I'll click on submit. Okay, you can see updated. The data is updated. Now I am trying to go back. Index.jsp. Now I'll click on display users. Now you can see the data is updated. Hope you are clear with this, and thank you, and we'll leave.